Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Today I am going to discuss the topic is aspire to inspire after the prayer. Vishwam Vishnarva Shatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krut Bhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. To aspire is to rise up to a great plan, an abundant hope of fulfilling a worthwhile mission. To inspire is to convey a feeling of joining a higher cause, influencing soulful action. Simply defined, aspire is an individual effort, while inspire brings others into the mix. Now, aspire and inspire, digging deeper. How? We read a quote and we experience a warm feeling inside, calling us to think and work in a better way. We hear someone speak and we stand up in an ovation of all to act differently. We read a book and we close it while opening up a new chapter in our life. We are inspired. Someone came into our life in some way and we feel differently because of their message or actions. I stand up and I reach higher. I reach for that position to take me to new places, new responsibilities, and new influence. I reach for that opportunity to change the world through my writings. I rise up to the challenge of building a platform in which thousands gather to hear every word. I vow to change the world through my thoughts and actions. I aspire to do great things. Inspire is an others activity and aspire is an I activity. This may be too straightforward. However, do these two mix well? Is aspire the middle filling of sweet inspiration? Or is being inspired enough to make a life work well? Now, aspire and inspire, separate or together. How? A disconnect happens when inspire and aspire stand alone. When it happens, both lose their meaning. We focus a lot on inspiration. We want to be inspired because we like the way it makes us feel. Similarly, aspire in a solo made can be limiting. Inside, we feel good about what we are thinking, writing, and doing. Without others involved, it loses some luster. It isn't about always needing an audience for what we aspire to do. It is about how communities are needed to make things happen in real, meaningful ways. So, let us pair aspire and inspire and see what transpires. If both inspiration and aspiration are missing from our lives, we lose our soul. We have a fire within, but it needs to be tended to. Without some effort, we become unengaged and worse, disengaged. Days float by as if we are lost at sea, and we are. There needs to be some level of either inspiration or aspiration to bring a spark to our lives. Now, self engaged. How? What if we just aspire? Now, some would argue that one cannot aspire without some inspiration. Although there is some truth in this, there are people who have that inner drive and are comfortable pursuing large, meaningful goals without much inspiration coming in. Without a solid inflow of inspiration, aspirations may become hollow or off target. Without inspiring others, we become figurines, standing for many to see but no one to hear. It may be egocentric people, or it may be people completely bounded up within their own world. Being self engaged may eventually lead to frustration, dashed hopes, and delayed dreams. Now, sideline engaged. On the other side, only being inspired means we feel the passion of what is being said and done. Yet we just wallow in the emotion. There is no action to bring it to life. Enlivening it with our effort and unique talents. We sit on the sidelines, soaking it all in, yet we avoid getting in the arena of meaningful activity. Similarly, if we are just stringing words together to stir up, we just run along the sidelines and never get in the game. A sideline life is a sidelined life. Next, purposefully engaged. When we add in the right mix of inspiration and aspiration, something magical happens. Purpose ensues. We have lofty goals. We have a meaningful mission. What we aspire to do stirs inspiration in others to join in. And we are open to be inspired. It's a fuel for our aspirations. In tandem, aspiration and inspiration work amazingly well together. Better than any duo you can possibly imagine. One powers the other and leads on another. When one is weak, the other re engages us. When one is stronger, the strength pulls the others up. When both are robust, anything can be accomplished. In this spirited place, we are open to be inspired. It fuels our aspirations. We also are committed to aspire to do great things in our life and in the way we lead. It energizes others, arousing them to do more and engage completely. As leaders, we need to lift our words and actions up to accomplish meaningful, purposeful goals. Calling on ourselves and others to achieve bigger, better things for a common good is inspiring. Without aspirations, inspiration is a sporadic emotion, fading and out of the focus. We need to move beyond the quick hit, feel good moments and move into doing things that matter for the long haul, celebrating successes all along the way. With inspiration, we see on the horizon what is possible, what can be achieved. With inspiration, we whistle while we do the work. It puts a sparkle in our eyes and in our soul. It is a time to aspire greatly, lead spiritedly. It is to aspire to inspire. To aspire simply means to have a yearning or a desire to do something and strive to do it. An aspiring individual, ambitious, hopeful, and enthusiastic. This is the kind of person you could want as a team player in your business, for he would keep spirits up and the momentum flowing. Inspire on the spirit of the encouragement as well as the ability to stimulate creative activity. It is that internal spark needed to make things happen, basically, to get off the sofa and get into action. An inspiring individual is uplifting, stimulating, exciting, and motivates. This person can light the fire needed to begin the action. As individuals travel their life path, they often find themselves in a place of feeling stuck. Perhaps they have been playing their life game for a while and tired of the same playing field. Change is necessary, but they can't see the big picture because they are still on the playing field. Or maybe they simply want to do something more rewarding and different. Perhaps you have been in this place. Maybe you are there right now. We can take inspiration a step further and reference a deeper meaning. Inspiration can also refer to divine guidance. In this context, it means breathe into or draw into lungs as a breath of life. Inspiration here is the flow of a divine energy that enters one's thoughts and heart easily without any forethought or contemplation. My books come in this way, and I am sure most others would at least to this kind of inspiration while writing their works. In fact, I am routinely influenced with divine wisdom every day of my life and cannot imagine life without this guidance. An inspired life, such as this, leaves the ego outside of the equation for the most part. There is no greater joy than knowing you inspired someone into action. Many leave this planet with their music still inside them, and what a tragedy that is. Maybe all they needed was someone to inspire and stimulate them, to believe in them and help them see their potential. What a gift that would be for that person to receive. And think how awesome it would be if you were the giver of the gift. So, in summing up the meaning of the phrase, aspire to inspire before you expire, it simply says to have the desire to arouse and positively influence an individual into action so that they fulfill their innermost desires before they die and leave this planet. Aspiration means the drive or yearning to do something. Inspire is the ability to stimulate creative activity. Aspire to inspire means the drive we have to inspire ourselves and others, making a difference in everyone's life. This is the divine power. This happens mostly to the people who are spiritually uplifted. Once the person aspires, he or she recognizes their capability to inspire others as well. This kind of person is a team player, for he or she will boost morale and keeps the momentum flowing. An inspiring individual is ambitious, hopeful, and enthusiastic. Many leave this planet with their music still inside them. And what a tragedy that is! Maybe all they needed was someone to inspire them to believe in themselves and realize their potential. To sum up the meaning of the phrase, aspire to inspire before you expire, it simply means to positively influence an individual into action so that they fulfill their innermost desires before they die. But do not forget to let the inspiration flow through you so that you too experience an inspired and meaningful life. Aspiration as a hope or desire accompanied by eagerness. So, when we aspire to something, we are hoping and longing for it with all our hearts. And what does it mean to aspire, not to be but to do? Let us discuss. Aspirations are an inseparable part of human's life. They give us something to hope for and look forward to. They inspire us to do better. And while it is good to have aspirations, we should be careful not to let them consume us. It is easy to get caught up in the idea of what we want to achieve and forget about the present moment. We can become so focused on our goals that we lose sight on the joy in the journey. We can become so fixated on becoming somebody that we forget to enjoy being ourselves. Now, question: how to motivate and inspire your people in difficult times? Answer is thus: these days, if you are a leader of any type, you can't simply order people around and expect them to do what you want. They may follow your directions if you are watching, but once they are left on their own, they will go back to doing what they think is important. Leaders today more than ever before, have to win people's cooperation. And there are two main ways of doing so: motivation and inspiration. Although the two words are often used interchangeably, they actually mean quite different things depending upon what you want to achieve. Motivation is about moving people to act in a way that achieves a specific and immediate goal. When you are motivating people to do something they may not necessarily want to do, you have to offer them something they want in return. When coaches give their teams a pep talk during halftime, they are using motivation. They want their players to charge back onto the field or the court with renewed energy and focus, even though they may be too tired or too disheartened to try. Next, tell people exactly what you want them to do. Motivation is all about getting people to take action. So don't be vague. Avoid generalities like I want everyone to do their best. Say instead, I need you to come in over a weekend so we can get this project done on time. 1. Limit the amount of time or effort that you are asking for. It's easier to ask people to work one night or even every night for a week than to expect them to work late indefinitely. Set an end date. 2. Share in the sacrifice. Leaders don't ask people to do what they themselves are not willing to do. Don't tell your people to work over the weekend if you have got plans for a spa day. Roll up your sleeves and share the load. 3. Appeal to their emotions. Fear focuses people's attention and can be an effective motivator. But if you keep resorting to fear, you will end up demotivating people. People are also motivated by and prefer to be motivated by positive emotions like excitement, pride, a sense of belonging, and the thrill of achievement. 4th, give people multiple reasons for doing what you want them to do. You can give your own reason or the organization's reason for requesting the action. If we don't get this project completed on schedule, we will lose the contract. But the best reason of all is always personal. It would be nice if you could give your people extra days off or even a bonus. Or you may talk about something as intangible as camaraderie that comes from having achieved something important together. But things being what they are these days, the best you may be able to offer is the hope that no one will lose a job. Inspiration, on the other hand, involves changing the way people think and feel want to take positive actions. It taps into people's values and desires. Commencement speakers, the best ones, at least inspire their audiences. They talk about the challenges the graduates will face, either personally or collectively, and its underlying, often unspoken message is you can become what you want to be. No reward is promised other than the reward that comes from within, the sense of personal satisfaction. As a leader, anytime you talk about values, about identity, and about long term goals, your intent, whether you know it or not, is to inspire. Now, let us use 5 steps to inspire your people. How? Number one, be the change you want to inspire. Your reputation, your character, your behavior will inspire people more than anything else. The only way to call the best out of the others is to expect the best from yourself. Number two, tell a story. Stories don't tell people what to do, they engage people's imaginations and emotions. They show people what they are capable of becoming or of doing. 3. Appeal to people's value system. Ask them to act in a way that is consistent with the values they themselves profess. 4. Trust people. When you are inspiring people, you are not telling them exactly what to do or giving them precise directions. You are empowering them to be their best, trusting that they will then do the right thing. And the right thing they do may not be what you were expecting. It may be something beyond your wildest expectations. 5. Challenge them. People are not inspired by doing the ordinary or by meeting expectations. They are inspired by the exertion, creativity, and sacrifice needed to exceed what they themselves thought possible. Motivation and inspiration are not the sole province of professional speakers and the preachers. They are tools leaders use all the time in one on one conversations, in meetings, and informal presentations to bring out the best in their people. It's just a matter of knowing the right time and the right situation. When there is an immediate, short term, and specific goal that you want your people to achieve, you need to motivate them. When you want to shape people's identity and their long term aspirations and commitments, you need to inspire them. Antoine de Saint Exupéry, the French aviator and author of The Little Prince, wrote, "If you want to build a ship, don't drum up the men to gather wood, divide the work, and give orders. Instead, teach them to yearn from the vast and endless sea. Sometimes you need to do both. You need to enlist and organize people to do a sacrifice, a task to build up a ship according to specs on time and on budget, and sometimes you need to activate people desires and stand aside. श्रेयकांताय कल्याण निधे निधेन्द्रां श्री वेंकटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलम मंगलाशासनपदेमदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतायास्तु मंगलम्.